After maidening the Motion RC 64mm A-10, the goal was to maybe do a comparison or versus video with the E-Flite 64mm A-10 because they're both 64mm A-10s. They are almost identical when it comes to size. As a matter of fact, I just used my tape measure and the E-Flite one seems to be maybe an inch bigger on the wingspan. But there is a noticeable difference, quite a few actually, and we're going to talk about those in today's video and fly them both and really compare them as closely as I can, because we did a maiden flight of this and I treated it like I would any other maiden flight. On our channel, we do not perfect them before we fly them. We fly them as an out-of-the-box experience, an honest experience. Now, today we might try and modify things to make it fly a bit better. We'll see how it goes. $140 price difference. That's the upfront key thing to note because money means everything, honestly, when it comes to purchasing power. The E-Flite version is $140 higher. You can buy it in a plug and play and save probably $20 or $30. I think they're
$429.99.
There you go, and $289, yes?
99.
Okay, so the other giant difference before we put these in the air and start flying them both and talking about them both is this, even though it's 64mm, is a 4S EDF. This, the E-Flite version, is a 6S EDF. That means you're getting a 6S capable ESC, 6S capable motors. This one has 4S capabilities. There are 4S, they're 40 amp ESCs. So the electronics are the first thing you probably should realize, that even though they're physically the same, almost identically in scale.
But not the same price.
Not the same price. There are more expensive electronics in here giving you 6S capabilities versus this one that is 4S capable. Some key things to note: they both have flaps, they both have retracts. The Motion RC version has no lights. The E-Flite version does have pre-installed lights. Also, assembly time, really quickly. This one probably takes something like 15 or 20 minutes to put together. I love that the missiles are on rails and things. This one is about a 1 to 2 hours, depending on how good you are, of assembly time, and it was a bit more frustrating to put together. This is just through my experience in putting foam airplanes together. It's very simple, a bit more challenging comparing the two. So there were a lot of comments in the first video made of this one, not as much as this one, and I just want to address some of those things and fly them both. I think because I haven't flown this one in a very long time, I'd like to fly it first as a bit of a bar, and this one was a handful on my maiden, so I'd like to make some adjustments and do the follow-up with it after we've established the kind of standard with this one. So let's put it in the air and continue talking about these and also have some fun.
Yep.
I also think it's very noteworthy to mention that I have a 6S battery in this E-Flite version, and I have more room inside the canopy to move that battery around if I want to adjust for CG, to get my hands in there and wires and receiver and stuff. It just has more space and it's even a bigger battery, so something worth mentioning.
That's interesting.
Go ahead and do a takeoff here. Kind of skimmed it down the runway, didn't I? We're going to get those landing gear up when I get out of the sun. I should have had my sunglasses on for this. Landing gear up. Now, guys, don't think that I never say bad things about E-Flite stuff. The landing gear, the retracts on this, sometimes get a mind of their own, and one of them, this is my original A-10, I will add. One of them, or all of them, at random, may or may not go up, may or may not come back down. So we always have to do a check before we bring it down. And for anybody that thinks, and this was said a lot, that we only say great things about E-Flite and we just had an agenda against Motion, that is very untrue. E-Flite and, you know, Horizon has had a lot of issues lately, like their website issues, and
E-Flite just got mad about your Thunderbird's video. They were not happy about that
Right,
video.
no, I showed
They showed it failing.
$600 jet crashing, and that, I'm sure they did not love that at all. In fact, they...
But at least they approve us for their affiliate program.
Okay, so having said that, they don't pay us at all to say anything.
No, the only way we are paid is if you guys click the link, decide to purchase it through our links, and Horizon does not write us the check. They pay the affiliate company, and then the affiliate company pays us.
And that's only if you decide to support us by clicking those links.
Horizon has never once wrote us a check.
That's exactly right.
Unfortunately.
In fact,
they should.
Yeah, well.
But that's besides the point.
Yeah, so anyway, that's not why we do this. We do it for fun, and we want to make sure everybody has a good experience in the hobby. That is why we do it. And I have bought this A-10, just to be very clear. I bought the E-Flite version for myself. Yes, we've been sent samples of it, but I've also bought a version for myself. And I bought the motion version out of my own money, and it was my Father's Day gift. I picked it out. I wanted that because, for various reasons, I like the A-10. And so the reason I'm talking about all this while I'm just flying this is because it flies really good. I could push the battery forward or back or anything, and it's going to continue to fly good. And we proved that in a very recent video on the channel with another E-Flite airplane. And I just, you know, I'm flying it. Also, there were some accusations that I was intentionally making it look like it was porpoising or something. I've never tried this, but let's just see if I'm intentionally making this porpoise. Can I even do it? You know, probably, maybe I would say so, but like, why would I do that?
It looks controlled porpoise. Just so you know, that looked intentional.
Our regular viewers actually gave me a pat on the back saying, man, you're a great pilot. I can't believe you got that airplane back in the rough state that it was in. So
I was scared.
Yeah. All right, well, I am ready to land, so let's drop the landing gear. Also, I'm not flying in safe on this flight at all, and I told you I got to check those gears, so I'm not going to commit to a landing until I've seen all of them, but I am going to come down like I'm landing. I see them all. We're going to come in really hot, but look at that.
My gosh.
Even as fast as that was.
It
always, hey, don't you remember this A-10?
It sticks the landing.
No matter what, every time. That was way too fast. But it sticks the landing.
I've never seen you land so fast.
That was really fast. So I haven't flown this in a long time, and I'm also just excited to put the other one in the air because I want to see if our...
Okay, sorry, we have a gator back there. Not a real gator, a truck
Although I will mention, it's hot enough to have gators right now.
Should be a gator.
It's mid-90s right now. We've been waiting for this.
Not complaining though.
No, it's great, but it is very hot, especially on this tarmac. So this A-10 probably has now at least 250 flights on it. And that's got to be a very serious number. Maybe more than that, maybe closer to 300. But there it is, holding up well, flies good. I have a lot of faith in it. I can get it out and fly it and know that it's going to fly good. And pan over to the motion one. That's what I was expecting out of this airplane too. My hopes were that it would be probably
tractor
better than the E-Flite version, because wouldn't it be cool if I could come to you guys and say, look, there's just as good of an A-10, same size, cheaper battery, outperforms the E-Flite version. That was, you know, the hopeful in goal, but it was not the case. So let's put the motion one in the air so you guys can see them more comparatively. I could go on and on about the list of things. I mean, I don't know how deep you guys want this comparison video to be, but
is it even fair to be comparing, Nathan? Let's be honest. This is a whole, I don't know, 3S airplane cheaper.
Okay, that's a good point. It's a very good point. I just feel like personally, this is about a generation behind on electronics and things like rails. People were giving me very constructive, like put magnets on or something.
But this is the budget option.
This is the budget option. So I think we titled the video appropriately. Are the sacrifices worth the savings? I think my representation of it was very honest.
I don't think people liked your nasty Nate in that video.
It's a bit of a gimmick, and I think a lot of the motion fan base was new to our channel because there's not a lot of reviewers, not that I call myself that do motion stuff. I think I know why, but I don't think the world wants to know why. And anyway, the goal is to just fly this and hope that it flies better, because I had a lot of people say it was nose heavy. I had a lot of people say it was tail heavy. More people said it was tail heavy, so I added some nose weight here. And I could shift the battery forward and back some more, but after I made my adjustments, and I think a lot of angry viewers didn't even watch long enough to see me make my adjustment, I pulled that battery forward and it did fly better. And I said it flew better, but it just wasn't.
And if you missed Nate's CG video, does CG matter? I highly recommend you go check out that video.
Absolutely.
Because it was super neat to see him adjust the CG on an E-Flite. Well, what did you do it on? I forget already.
That was one of my favorite airplanes, actually, the Commander.
Okay, on the E-Flite Commander.
Yes.
He super messed with battery placement there.
A lot.
Super messed with the CG and was still able to fly it.
I've got to pull this forward as far as I can. My goal with the Motion Maiden when I bought it, when I showed it on the channel.
Trust us, we want to work with more companies.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to make companies mad, but we're also not going to lie at the sake of a buck.
Yeah.
At the sake of maybe making $1 if you decide to buy this plane.
Right. I'm not
that's
be like,
insane.
Oh, this is just as good as the E-Flite plane and it's $140 cheaper. But I'm just going to tell you my full honest experience. That's how we do our channel. And I still think that the reaction we got was really, 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 really weird. One that I've never experienced before. Even when we do TheRcSaylors videos, it was strange. And anyway, the one flight characteristic that I will say I liked more on my maiden flight of this versus the E-Flite version was the roll rate. It was significantly higher right out of the box, and I really enjoyed that. That was very fun. Also, people have asked me to take my ordinances off, but as you saw, while they're glued on, because they don't come off unless I rip them off, and I could make adjustments. I'm not a caveman, but they were on the E-Flite version. And so I think that's a better direct comparison.
Do you have all the ordinances on that one?
Oh, yes. This one comes with some more.
Because this one has way more.
So you can
see
the
it has
rails.
the big tank.
Oh, no, I'm missing a couple. Sorry,
okay.
I'm missing. I don't have a big middle tank.
And you have broken a couple, maybe?
I have broken a couple of my...
And then you don't have a center one. Does it come with a center? It never came with
a center. Okay. So that's the thing, right?
Okay. So this one's significantly heavier right now.
No, I wouldn't say heavier, but I would say more drag.
There you go.
I would say more drag.
Fair enough.
This one has shocks too. See
now
that?
You fixed your nose.
See this? Shocks?
Shocks, yes.
This one?
Yeah, some.
No, it doesn't. It's fake. It looks like shocks, but it's not really.
Okay. Now you fixed your nose.
I did, yeah.
And added extra glue in there for some nose weight?
Well, a little bit of weight to just get a better CG. I mean, that was the problem, right? We were and I felt it. We were really tail heavy. Now it feels good. That's pretty darn balanced. So battery is forward. Little extra weight in here, and I believe someone told me that Motion RC released an update video after they released this saying that you did need to add some nose weight. So I think we're going to fly better, so let's just put it in the air and see how it does. It's really funny because at the end of the day, I don't think even I realize probably a lot of these are made in very similar factories, or at least some of the parts, and then the parts are sent to another factory and they're somewhat assembled there versus there's a lot of similarities, you know what I mean? They're both 64mm. Now this is 4S, and I think it needs to cook the speed more because the same size but more drag. So I'm going to cook the throttle more, and already it just feels like it's porpoising. So
I saw that on the takeoff.
Landing gear up. Now I want to show you guys that roll, right? There.
That does look good.
So it's flying better. I'm easing off on the juice some, but it still just feels wonky. Okay, it's definitely better.
Sensitive. I think sensitive.
No, not sensitive. It's
okay.
It just feels like it almost feels like it's just almost like there's something shifting around in there or something. There's not.
You got Velcro on the bottom of your battery?
Yes. No, there's nothing shifting.
Okay.
I've already flown this, you know. It doesn't just feel like it needs trim. It just feels loosey-goosey. I mean, you guys can see it.
That is so fast, though.
It is. It's a good roll rate.
Does it snap well? Will you snap it? I don't think you snapped it in the Maiden, did you?
Actually, something looked like it just clicked down. That was really weird. It might have just been my imagination, but it looked like the front wheel. Nope, something's flopping a little bit on the front of the A-10. Well, because of that, I'm going to land it. I just don't know what that is. I think it's like grass. Oh, something's clicking around something. Something's clicking. So let's put the landing gear down. and I'm gonna land it because something is acting like it's gonna fall off of the, oh, whoa, 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 did you see that? Did you see that twist? Look at that, why is it doing that?
I'm gonna show your hands. I don't know what to show because people are gonna say you're lying.
No, that twist was wild. That twist was wild. I know you saw that. I wasn't doing anything but trying to save this airplane because that's $300 of my own hard-earned money that I'm trying to get back down in one piece. And I want to see what was flopping around on the front of this jet too. Now I got it down in one piece, but that was weird. I think it's because I was coming in at low speed and it was just ready to like stall. But man, I've never seen anything jerk out of the air like that.
Sorry I didn't film the plane. I just thought
it's fine.
People are going to accuse you of doing that.
No.
Because that's what happened in the last one,
you know
which
what
is
it was?
insane
I already
to me.
know what it was. I know what was flicking down in the air.
Your canopies popped off.
Well, that might have been from the hard landing. Okay, to be fair.
Okay.
Nothing shifted. That battery is still snug up front because my Velcro and my Velcro strap. Nothing shifted. I know what was flipping around in the wind. It was this. Watch this. I guarantee this was getting caught and it was
sorry.
Foomp, foomp. That's just getting caught in the wind. A little bit of wind gets in here and foomp, it gets pulled down like a big air brake. That's what I was seeing, and I didn't see that on the Maiden. And that spring is supposed to be enough to hold that up, but clearly it's not. Now I don't think that's the cause of...
I also want to show you something, unless that's because you're landing.
Probably
your
the landing.
retracts are broken.
That was a hard landing, so it has to be. Are you saying broken because this is twisted a little?
It's not in.
Well, it's just a little off, and that's got to be because of my hard landing. Okay, I don't think they ever...
It's not working anymore.
Yeah, okay, well, it does work. It just got twisted because I came down hard on that wheel. Okay, that's why.
Sorry for not filming that, guys.
That's okay. That's okay.
Sometimes I do wish you had a camera on your...
Sure, but
for this, actually only for motion planes, because you've never been accused of that.
I've never been accused.
That's
I've shown,
insane.
I have shown FMS, the FMS Beaver, and let's just be very honest. Horizon sent that FMS Beaver.
Well, you just rolled your favorite, I think, at least it's my favorite, Thunderbirds into the hill.
Yeah, and nobody was like, wow, FMS paid you to crash that. I've also had the FMS Beaver literally explode on camera, and when it did, I was like, hey, Horizon, just so you know, this happened. We're gonna post it, and it was okay.
We've never had such crazy
and you know, maybe
wild accusations.
No, and I just couldn't. Most of the time when I show something failing, it's either my fault or the airplane's fault or helicopter or whatever. And if I know it was my fault, I take full ownership of it. I've never experienced the same reaction that we had on the maiden flight of this, just for being honest. And it was very, very off-putting, just to be really honest with you guys. It really, even started to get me a little bit upset, but I use that as a learning opportunity, learning experience to handle personal attacks a little better, like spiritually. So that was actually really healthy for me to kind of experience, because I stand by everything I said in that Maiden, and I will not, I wouldn't have said it if I didn't mean it.
I think the only thing you were wrong about, and even in this video, this is a $140 difference.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
So,
but
you can't compare apples to apples, but you can compare.
I think I can.
How this flies versus other $289.99.
Sure, but they're both 64 millimeters, and they're both very similarly sized, like an inch off. So, I mean, I'll put that back in the air, but I don't really want to, you know? That's not fun to fly, and it wasn't fun to build. E-Flite stuff, at least that one, was...
Oh, and how dare you pick their worst planes on their website.
Yeah, someone accused me of intentionally picking their worst... I'll tell you what, I picked another airplane the same time that I bought that one, because it's another one that I wanted to buy.
How would we have known that? There's no videos.
Exactly.
Motion's own videos on this.
That's exactly right. So, I will let you guys take both videos with a grain of salt. Take it for what it is. For me, it is a factual, honest experience with no motives. No motives. I'm just... and
no, there was a motive. It was to start working with motion.
Yeah, right. Hey, look what we can do. But turns out...
I don't think they're very happy with us right now.
Honesty is our only policy, and some companies aren't cool with that. And that's not to say they don't make good airplanes, okay?
No, we have another one.
I have another one.
I'm hoping it flies better.
I have another one. And so people even say they dominate in the jet market. Well, maybe they do. And maybe this is their one and only dud. But isn't that super ironic if it is? And I'm not trying to take away from anyone's positive experiences they've ever had with a Motion Freewing or anything that they've ever bought on that website. If you've had fun with it, that's all that matters at the end of the day. What I'm trying to do here is to say, audience that we've built up over 11 years or so, we've shared our honest experience up to this point. And though E-Flite's not perfect, it's got pros and cons, in my opinion, the experience isn't up to snuff. So if you're like me and you're just shopping around and you're used to flying the 8 bind and fly E-Flites that you have or plug and play, I'm here to tell you this is not a similar experience. There's work involved. It's harder to assemble. It's harder to get to fly right. I'm not saying that it can't fly right, but there's a lot of work involved to get it to fly right. I'm not the type of person that builds kits from scratch to get them to fly perfectly. I don't have time. We've got a young family and everything. I look at our channel, fly a lot of foam, a lot of plug and play, a lot of bind and fly. This fills in that category, and that was and is my honest experience, and I'll stand by that till the day I die. And if you don't like it, that's okay. But I have yet to see, other than Motion's video, a single video on YouTube of this flying well. So I'm just trying to help people out, that's all. And
Are you gonna fly it again?
No! Okay, sure. Let's end the video with one more flight. I'll put a fresh battery in. I might not be able to get the retracts up, but let's just try one more time, I guess, right?
Up to you, you're the pilot. Do what you think is best.
No, I'm ready to move on from this airplane, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, so, no, I'm not happy with the experience. That's not what I wanted at the end of the day through purchasing this, but we're tested all the time in life, aren't we? To stand by our values or not. I could be a sellout and tell you how awesome this thing is and go buy it, and maybe they'll start sending me free foam. But to me, it's not worth it. And I can always thank our Patreon supporters for helping me buy stuff like this.
Do you want to address one more comment I remember you telling me about?
Yeah, sure.
Selling your crashed planes and poopy planes.
Okay, so sometimes I sell really great things of mine, sometimes I sell broken things of mine, but I'm always very clear about them if I move them on. And a lot of times, just not that it matters to you guys out there, but a lot of times if I sell something like this and I get any amount of money from it, most of the time it goes to a less fortunate family in one form or another. That's true.
If it's ready to run and beginner friendly.
I don't just give away this.
You can't just give this away.
Yes. Okay.
To less fortunate people.
Okay.
And in the airplane community, if you can fly, people don't just want your stuff because it takes up room.
Well,
space is limited on people.
Banggood stuff that's ready to fly, even E-Flite stuff or Hobby Zone or anything that's ready to fly, the little Pioneer.
Armas. We've given away Armas, brand new.
We've given away Armas, just like our local town and stuff. We give them away if they're ready to run and if they're ready to fly and easy to fly. A lot of times we give them to fundraisers or less fortunate families or just friends that have done us favors and stuff like that. I can't just go give this to someone that has never flown a plane before. There's no value in it.
And a less fortunate family, are they gonna have that?
No.
Are they gonna have even electricity to charge?
No, around here, no. So what I have to do is
batteries,
sell this.
It's just crazy.
And then I take that money and we generally, not always, but most of the time, we'll take the money from this if I do sell it, and that money goes to a less fortunate family, or maybe they'll help us do something so that they're kind of earning a little bit of it too. But a lot of times we do make donations with the money that comes from ever selling our stuff. So yeah, God forbid, right? I sell my $150 plane on like Marketplace for 30 bucks.
And crash planes, people look for crash planes all the time for parts.
Yeah, so that was like one person, but just, you know, it was a weird experience doing a Motion video. And I mean, I could buy Motion stuff all day long. We've got Patreon support that's there for that reason, but I don't know if I want to. It's just really a negative experience, and that's not what I'm after. I want people to have positive experiences, and that's what our YouTube channel has been since day one. If you guys want to support our honesty, there are a few ways you can do that. You can leave a comment, you can leave a like, you can share this video. Those are free ways. You can go watch more of our videos and watch all the way through to the end. That's a great way to support us. You can click any link in our video website, except for this one.
You can click that one.
And we have other links down there too that'll take you to like Maiden and other websites. If you prefer those websites, you can click our link and then it supports us. And it doesn't cost you a single extra penny. But if you were going to buy a battery for your A10 anyway, click the link first. Less money goes to corporate, a little bit of money goes to mom and pop YouTubers that are just the two of us doing this. You can also support us through Patreon directly. Patreon support plus our hard-earned sweat gets us stuff like this that we want to feature on the channel. And we're very grateful for your support. I also want to say a massive thanks to God for blessing us with this awesome, beautiful, calm day to test both of these back to back. And to give me the strength, I guess, or maybe that's not the right word, but just the willpower to go through with this even after that Maiden flight video. I'm just grateful to be here and to share these experiences with you guys. And finally, a massive thanks to our Patreon supporters, because you supplement the free foam when the companies don't want to send the free foam, because there's a reason they don't want to send the free foam. We say thank you to our Patreon supporters massively, and to everybody, thank you. If you missed the Maiden flight video, I want you to be the judge for yourself and go check that out. I'm guessing most of you have seen that, but if you missed it...
No, I was going to do the CG video.
That's better to see. Let's go watch Is CG Even Important at All? After watching these two jets fly, I think you're going to really find this video extremely eye-opening. So that video is popping up right about now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you there.
Bye!